because he's just so engaged and just very thoughtful, and what a background.
And when I looked down the program, he was the one that I wanted to reconnect with, because it's been 25 years since I met with Eric.
Yeah.
And you brought out every part of his character and his family and his background. And in your interviews are beautifully conducted. Well done, guys. Who am I speaking to? Dave, you tell us.
Dave Wilson, on the track at White Horse Radio.
Yeah.
Broadcasting for about 40 years.
Yeah.
In radio, community radio, hospital radio. Got started with Devices and down in Wiltshire.
Devices.
We're based in Calne.
Love Wessex.
Yeah.
I used to have a job in Calne. We had that.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, we had that discussion. You're Scottish. So.
I'm the plastic Scot. The accent comes in and out when I need to.
I get accused of it. So.
Absolutely. But no, it's been fantastic getting to know Rob. The first time we met was yesterday. He had horrendous jet lag, but we looked after him well. And, we've got a small interview as well, which we'll send to you.
Yeah. So, Mike, I'll come to you.
Sure.
Because you're the technical end of everything as well.
Yeah, well, I work with Michael on Open Mic here.
So we've just done an interview, and welcome, guys. We've just done an interview with Eric Bibb. It'll be on the page that you're viewing, whichever page you're viewing on. It's well worth taking some time sitting down with the interview, because Michael sat down with Eric and asked all the right questions. A lot of the research is coming from yourself as well.
Yes.
Please tell us when that will be getting broadcast on the internet.
We're expecting in the next couple of weeks. We don't have an exact date. We've got a lot to accomplish.
Yeah.
So, we're going to probably do 2 weeks worth of work, and then maybe a third week later, we'll probably get the show together. We're probably going to be doing at least 2 episodes on this festival. So we're going to I need a few weeks.
So it'll be a collage of different.
We're going to do the show over 4 days, multiple artists, featuring a bunch of different artists and their music.
Yeah. Michael, you obviously are based in Edmonton.
That's right.
And you're broadcasting to White Horse Radio in England. Is there an outlet for your broadcast here in Canada, or is that just a...
No, we're just based out of England. I started with a network here in Edmonton originally. But then I met David Wilson, and David was already broadcasting on White Horse Radio.
Yeah.
So he said, and I was kind of looking for something new.
Yeah.
And he said, well, why don't you consider White Horse Radio? So he introduced me. Next thing I know, we're chums, and so he has his show, I have my show, but we've collaborated. Like when Open Mic hit 100 shows, David co-hosted this 3-hour show that we did. We had like William Shatner on the show, and we did a really great show. And we're very supportive of what Gary Pearce and Christie's are doing out of Wiltshire. I mean, what they've created is we don't like to refer to it as a podcast. They've got an online radio format. It's a radio format, and everything is structured that way. We have news, we have weather, we have breaks. Our shows are 55 minutes. They're not like any podcast where you can go on forever. We're structured, and I love the culture of what White Horse Radio is about, and I think incredibly unique in the podcast world. So we're brothers in arms, and we collaborate, and I kind of roped in all my buddies and said, hey, let's do the Edmonton Folk Music Festival. And everybody jumped on board, and here we are.
Yeah, and it's amazing how things evolve with the current technology we have with the internet. Is you think you're going to be a local radio station, which is really what White Horse Radio started as in Calne, Wiltshire. Very quickly became an international station. So as people kind of log off at 5 or 6 o'clock locally, the international stuff kicks in because, of course, we're 7 hours behind here in Canada. So but I got to say something. The reason this guy got employed is he's got a great voice. Don't you
It's
think?
got a voice for radio. It's got a face for radio.
It has got a face
for it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. I think
Enjoy this while you can.
I'm just kidding. I think
But here's the thing, you'll understand this, Rob, that people are looking for, and it sounds a cliche, old-fashioned radio.
Yes.
Right? And the amount of times that people come back to say, you know what, we so enjoy listening to White Horse Radio and all the other stations that are out there with people like yourself, because real personalities, real music, real backgrounds. The amount of research this guy does every week for the show is like unbelievable.
Well, with Ken's help, Ken does the heavy lifting on that. And that's another thing too, is that there's a lot of shows just an individual. I'm lucky to be surrounded by, like, Ken is my co-producer, and we have this collaboration where he does the research and the curating. I do the back end of it, of scripting it, maybe doing some additional research from time to time, and then producing it, and out it goes. And it shows, because I can listen to any of the 131 shows that we've done over the last, 2.5 years at least, and I am happy with everything we do, and we know who our audience is. We're an eclectic show based on a topic, and we curate the information and the music to go to that topic. So we're not genre based. So our show is an adventure. If you listen to our show, and we have listeners, when you listen, it means that you like the adventure of what we do.
Now, are your audience interacting with you and suggesting topics?
He certainly, they interact with him.
Oh, for sure.
I'm jealous.
I try and pass it on, though,
Yeah.
But here's the thing, it takes a long time, as you know, to really build up that audience. And what I find is you get 1 or 2 contacts a month to start with, which is great. I do an oldie show, 50s and 60s music on another track. But I've just had a recent communique from a radio station down in the South Atlantic, and one of the little islands down there. They sort of had listened to us and said, "You're doing a great job," and it's great when you get that from your compatriots in the industry. You think, okay,
I'm going to put you on auto find on my radio. That's for sure.
Thank you very much. I'll pay you later, Rob.
Yeah, thanks.
We love it, and we really appreciate it. I think this is what I love about the community of what you're involved in, what we're involved in. We support each other. I mean, radio broadcast, when you think of traditional, they're all very proprietary. The licensed broadcasters, they're incredibly proprietary. What I like
does
about
that translate to bland?
Yeah,
in many cases.
I
said that.
But in the community that we're in, it's more of a community connection that you can have. So people aren't as proprietary in our environment, and I think it's strength in numbers. The more we can do, because here's the thing. I mean, for artists now, in terms of the music world, it's not that easy to get out there. I mean, there's not record labels handing you bags of money to go out and promote and do your thing. So now for artists, it's live performances, and it's also all of these podcasts and broadcasters online that help to leverage what musical artists are doing. And you can see by their response, like Eric Bibb in our interview, they have a real respect for the people that are doing this.
Agreed. Let me just throw something in at this point. Your audience is part of a community that you've created on a platform. The artists themselves have created their own audience on their platforms. And so it's a self-sustaining
It's cumulative.
network.
It's cumulative. I mean, it's the strength in numbers. It's
Yeah.
propagation of what you're doing, and their community is an audience, and that's important. So we have our audience, but the thing is, you rely on the people who are connected to also share that with other audiences.
And we've all got. I mean, I'm holding a phone that is broadcasting now to a potential 30,000. Actually, we've got 2 people viewing, but it's going out there, and all those people at some point have actually engaged with what we're doing. So it's down to us to be able to produce something that is worthwhile.
And it's important to do quality. I mean, I don't want to put down podcasters in general, but there are a lot of people, and I understand it's kind of a thing they want to do. They've always envisioned that they want to be a kind of a broadcaster. But what I like about what we do is that we are very much more disciplined and understand the process. And I came from radio, and that's what attracted me to Whitehorse in the beginning, is that they have that discipline, and I like it because I think it matters. I think that you have a real sense of what quality should be. And that was one of the first things when I had my conversation with them. That was one of their things. You want to do something that's really, something that's quality delivered. And if you're going to do that, you need to be disciplined. And I'm lucky to have a team. I mean, Ken is my gem, as I always like to say, and it's important. And I think it's reflected in the kind of comments that we get, and also the focus of our show.
It was certainly reflected in the quality of the broadcast that you allowed me to be part of, and I do thank you for that. Well, our audience.
We love you, Rob.
Okay, there you go. That's awesome.
You're part of the team now. You're part of the team, man.
That's great. That's great.
We've got to ask you a question. I don't know if you have time or not. You very briefly told me how you got started, but to the wider audience, was it very difficult to get started in what you're doing now yourself?
Which start in
in terms of
broadcast?
actual broadcasting, the radio, and the TV side.
You know how that came about? I was promoting bands all the way through the 80s, and I had some funding from Tenants Live. There are other beers available, but not with funding. So I took that, and because I had the name as the Highland representative for that, and because that was about grassroots music and bringing it through, I was getting in the region of 20 demos a day popping through my letterbox. This little house in the Highlands of Scotland, people with everybody's hopes and aspirations. I got to listen to everything that came, but I couldn't get everybody a gig. So at that time, community radio was opening up. There was a broadcaster, community broadcast in Ullapool, which the proud boast was the smallest radio station in Britain. So I got in touch with them and said, well, listen, I've got all this music. Could I get it on the radio? It's the least I can do for these artists. And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I spent 15 years travelling from Dingwall up that beautiful road every week to do that, and I ended up doing another show on Nevis Radio as well. But one thing leads to another.
It does.
And then social media happened.
We're 6 degrees. Well, actually, it used to be 6 degrees. I think these days we're like 2 degrees.
It feels like it.
From anything.
It does feel like it. And this festival is...
well, it's international.
Yeah, and it just feels like so many people are part of what's going on here anyway. To be able to fit in and be part of that is a supreme privilege, I have to say that.
Okay, so we do a self-promotion now.
We just did that.
Give your website.
Yeah, do that,
Well,
please.
you're the soft delivery guy.
So there we go, that's... it's whitehorseradio.co.uk. Yeah, we're doing it in video. whitehorseradio.co.uk.
You have to stop that in public, please. Come
I
on.
know. And
Thank you.
no, not at all. When does your show go out?
So my show goes out on a Sunday, British summertime, between basically 5 and 7 in the evening.
On a Sunday.
On a Sunday, very eclectic, like say 50s and 60s. If you're in North America, Mountain Standard Time, 10 to 12 in the morning. So you can be having your coffee in the morning or having your glass of wine at the night.
It's a totally different thing. I'm at 4 p.m. Mountain Time in Canada,
So you're-
or Mountain Time,
Yeah.
and then 11 p.m. England. His show repeats actually just before mine on Tuesday, so we kind of tag team.
Tuesday's a good one then. If you get there. Well, as I say, White Horse Radio, next time I'm in Wiltshire, I'll go in and see them. And
There you go.
You got
You're
it.
a gentleman.
Thank you, guys. That's us. We're out of here. We are at... I'll take you out the door. Thanks again, guys. We are in Edmonton at the iMTV. We are starting to arrive. All 7 stages are going to kick off and go to Wonder Right. We'll do some reviews and catch some music as the day unfolds. That's a good start to the day. Hope you enjoyed that, guys. I know I did.